Burnett. I am your astrologer, back again with the messages for the week of September 1st, 2025, which amazingly is the last 4 months of the year. We are just around the corner from fall, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I think a lot of people are actually looking forward to the cooler fall weather. And of course, their pumpkin spice lattes. So we're going to break it all down this week, of course. And most importantly, this week, it's the true beginning of the eclipse season, because we will see the first of the two eclipses. They always come in pairs. And up first is the full moon lunar eclipse, which is a total lunar eclipse, but we will not see it here in North America because of the time that it is happening in the early morning hours. But because it is total and the closeness to the North Node in particular, it's definitely faded, and we will see doors that close in order for new doors to open for us, even though it's lunar, which is more emotional. Of course, if you have been following me, you are a member of my website, you've been reading ahead, and you've been getting all the details. And if not, now's a great time for you to click on that subscribe button. I've been having lots of fun working with those of you who have booked sessions to really explore what is about to change, what's possible with the help of the eclipse energy. And so I look forward, of course, to working with more of you. You can book a session. Go out to my website, maraleeburnett.com. There you'll see a special price to work on just this eclipse energy. And of course, you can do anything else with me out there as well, but that might entice you to want to spend a little time with me digging in deep. And of course, we'll do the breakdown today by sign so that you can get some idea of what chapters are ending so new ones can begin. So I look forward to that. That'll be here at the end of this week because that full moon lunar eclipse happens on Sunday. So we're going to whiz through the days leading up to it, focusing in on just a bit of the energy that stands out, but then we'll really spend time deep diving into that emotional closure that is coming with that lunar eclipse. And of course, you can, on my website, access right now the articles for the month of September that include the lunar eclipse and that incredible new moon solar eclipse that happens at 29 degrees of Virgo. There's a lot of intensity. It's not going away. We are going to go through it all because that's what a 9 year is about. It's about a culmination of all the things that we've been exposed to over the last 9 years. So if we go back to 2016 and think about what we were experiencing for those beginning 4 years, well, there's something of a dramatic conclusion that can be aligned with those years and that energy. So I do expect a big shake up as far as the presidency goes because of the fact that if Donald Trump's chart is accurate, he's under a lot of pressure. And that pressure is about his reputation, which of course is his work and his career, and a chapter may be ending or closing for him because of the T-square that is created with the sun in Virgo, the moon, of course, in Pisces, of course, accompanied by the North and South Node, that are exerting a lot of pressure on his Uranus in the sign of Gemini. So there can be shocking surprises, and I'm bringing it up now because it's polarizing what's going on with him, of course, and this country. And there may be more crazy ahead, and it doesn't have to wait for the actual eclipse for things to be crazy and explosive. And so I'm just telling you, this could be a very interesting week. So since it's his Uranus in the sign of Gemini, information, conversations, speeches could be wild, crazy, erratic, and enlightening. Who knows? We'll know as the week progresses, that's for sure. So with that, let us take a look starting on Monday, September 1st. So it's Labor Day. So many of you out there get the day off, and many of you else out there are continuing to work. So those who have the day off can go out and shop. So thank you. But it is a day where it's a good idea to be thankful for the work that you have or the work that you've had in the past. Think about creating a positive connection to a new beginning. And since this is Labor Day and it's September 1st, we say rabbit, rabbit. We can dust our front doors with cinnamon. We can blow the cinnamon in the house. We want to do all kinds of positive things today to connect to the energy of new beginnings, because of course the number 1 is a new beginning. A new month is a new beginning. And September being a new month is inviting in, a new energy that will eventually bring us the fall equinox, equal parts night and day. So there's a lot of changing and rebalancing. And of course, we're talking about Libra season upcoming as well. So much that, like I said, is still here for us to work through. And as we get started looking at the actual energy today, we will see briefly this grand fire trine involving Mercury in Leo. It's almost done. And we've got the moon in Sagittarius, very adventurous. And last but not least, we have Chiron in Aries. And so there is this opportunity to heal the self, right? Chiron in Aries is healing ourself, helping us heal the things that keep us from feeling independent, confident, and taking action. So all of those things show up in this triangle of energy here, which is a big opportunity. So an opportunity, information, right, through Mercury can be communicated to you through a leader, through a young leader, for instance. And whatever that is, you want to say yes. Take advantage of it. Follow your passions, follow your dreams, follow the path of a healer, for instance. Trust your emotions. The moon in Sagittarius is very adventurous, wanting to gain knowledge, wanting to travel, maybe wanting to take a trip somewhere, to be with a healer and gain information through his leadership that inspires you. So that's just one of many ways this could show up for you, but however it shows up for you, don't let it pass you by. Especially because right now and throughout this week, Jupiter, ruler of that Sagittarius moon energy, is meeting and speaking in harmony with the nodes of fate and destiny and karma from the sign of Cancer. Jupiter also now is in that energy that's called pre-shadow for its upcoming retrograde that starts on 11/11. So there is huge lessons and opportunities involving home and family, our feelings, expanding our families, and that expansion is fated because of the fact that the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces are speaking in harmony with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter's a teacher, a benefic planet, and it is giving some of you a pretty big, tremendous opportunity. Now, it's been 12 years since we had Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, so you can look back to 2013 for some clues as to what you may have been working through back then. But what's different, of course, is the nodes. The nodes were not here the last time we had Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. So there are a lot of fated lessons and events that will be going on, especially for you mid-placement. Any of your planets that are in the middle degrees, around this 18 degrees, the tighter the orb, to me, the more impactful the lesson. And like I said, it's a lesson. Yes, it's fated, but fate opens a door and changes things because of our ability to welcome them, our ability to learn lessons, and to literally show up and accept the invitation. So there is something big brewing this week through whatever house you have this Jupiter in Cancer energy transiting for you. So we'll be watching that. And again, why I kind of brought up the eclipse at the beginning is if you think about this energy of these nodes, well, they've been speaking with Jupiter and then they're doing what they've been told, what they've been taught to do by Jupiter. Then the eclipses are going to create change. So it's a fascinating week ahead. We also, of course, continue to see that now Saturn has dipped back into the sign of Pisces. So this is the second pass of Saturn through these last few degrees of Pisces. It's time for us to get serious about the work that we've been doing with Saturn through here, which is about a 3-year cycle. So what have those themes been that involve working hard as far as Saturn's perspective on these Piscean dreams, on your spirituality, on your talents, on your gifts, on your intuition, on your feelings. And someone else mentioned to me today on our delusions and not deluding ourselves anymore, not self-medicating anymore. This is the time that you have to see reality, right? When Saturn comes back into Pisces, it's clearing away the fog and it's making you face reality in some area of your life. And you got to get serious about it. You got to dig in and you got to do the work. So by the time Saturn's done with this review of yours, this exam, then you're ready to move on and be done. We got a few months before that's going to happen, but this is now the final review. And when a planet sits at 29 degrees, like it will be during these eclipses, there again is an intensity that is showing up for you in some area of your life. So it's a big week and the heavy hitters are showing up to play. We also are seeing still this triangle of support in the background. Neptune's at 1 degree of Aries, Uranus is at 1 degree of Gemini, and we have Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius. Still, this invisible support system working behind the scenes, not ready to show us everything yet, but we're getting closer to the truth. So, just a few little things going on as we kick off the week. So let me move quicker through the rest of the days of this week so this doesn't become a super long video. As we get into Tuesday, however, we do now see that Mercury is in its home sign of Virgo, and as it sits here at 0 degrees of Virgo, where we just had the new moon in Virgo, which of course created a yod between Pluto in Aquarius and Neptune in Aries, and of course Saturn's there, but it has slipped now into the sign of Pisces. So these yods that we keep happening this year are all because of the outer planets being placed as they are in sextiles and trines to one another. And so we keep repeatedly getting these missions. This finger of God is pointing at you. And as Mercury comes through here, we just had the sun and the moon here. Now Mercury has the plan of action that you need to take involving things that have to do with Virgo. Attention to detail, getting organized, cleaning, health issues, things to do with your pets, being of service to others. Whatever it is, whatever your personal mission is, depends on where this yod keeps pointing at you and what house is continuing to be activated for you. Mercury has more information on how you should be accomplishing your mission. So these next couple of days, Tuesday and Wednesday, are going to be all about that yod and about that new beginning. So something's been percolating since the new moon in Virgo, and now you have a little bit more information on what to do with what this new opportunity is for you. You got to get into the details before you can fully dive in, but you will see that show up for you today on Tuesday. And as we move ahead and quickly pop into Wednesday, notice Mercury's moving quickly. It's getting close to the sun, but it won't get all the way there yet. But it's coming. Just you wait and see. So nothing big changing here on Wednesday, except that we do see now that Jupiter and the nodes are exact. So on Wednesday, we may see what's fated for us, what the fated lessons are, what the growth opportunities are, maybe what the reward is for learning your lessons from the past, for letting up, trying to control everything, and to, again, lean into the North Node, have more faith and trust. Something big could be shown as far as the collective goes. And of course, in our own lives, as I mentioned, if you have planets around this, 15 to 21 degrees, I like to keep the orb pretty tight. Even though Jupiter's a huge planet of influence, I think the closer your planets are to this, the more likely you are to see some kind of actual impact that's showing up. Especially if it's a personal planet, then it's something showing up in your day-to-day life that is definitely very, very noticeable. So that is the big opportunities on Wednesday. And then we're going to move ahead to Thursday. And here's why the opportunity that's coming to you through Jupiter and the nodes requires you to make a change. It's because of the fact that Mars marching through the sign of Libra, focusing on justice and balance and relationships and going after what we are passionate about. Well, when it squares off with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, there's something that has to change. There is something fated that presents itself to us in an unexpected, unusual way. So Mars in Libra, right? Our relationship that you're a part of could present a challenge to your home, could present a challenge to your family, could present a challenge to where you live. For instance, because of this new relationship that you start, you'll have to move. And you never thought you would. In fact, this in conjunct energy, this green line to the North Node is suggesting this fated opportunity makes you uncomfortable because it's unexpected, and this is energies that don't mesh well. So perhaps this is a relationship that you are in, and your different faiths and belief systems make it so difficult, and yet you're still so drawn to each other that you can't explain it. And so something happens that forces a change here. And if it's not bringing you together, it could be tearing you apart, and you can't pretend anymore. So anytime you have a square, that means a challenge and a change is needed in order to restore balance and in order to resolve the conflict. Boundaries might be a big issue. All kinds of topics come up when we're activating that Mars in Libra energy, but I've given you a few examples. So again, fate is driving this week for us, and we just need to show up and be open to the opportunities. And then as we move to Friday, so TGIF, and the biggest thing going on Friday is this Uranus energy is slowing down and getting ready to station to go retrograde. So what have you been learning since July 7th, which has been pretty crazy as far as the information, the news, all kinds of crazy, right? Now, when Uranus is going retrograde, we have to digest all of the information that we've been learning. We're taking a closer look at AI. Maybe some of you are studying AI. This is our chance. And Uranus is slow going for a reason. So we have time to absorb all of the information and all of the details that are coming our way. And speaking of information, the moon will be in the sign Aquarius that, of course, Uranus rules over. And again, making this brief little yod with the South Node in Virgo and this Jupiter in Cancer energy, which, of course, the moon rules. So there is something quick, brief, again, only going to impact those with especially energy at these 18-degree points. But it's something about uniting the collective. And that's your mission, and that is your purpose. And there will be people and information from the past, teachers from your past, that are going to help you bring change, bring community in some way. So still a very big and impactful day today. Very emotional in nature. As we head on into Saturday, we are not seeing any big changes today. This is just the ramp up, of course, to that emotional full moon lunar eclipse. And for some of you, probably not anyone listening to me, you will get to actually view it. The rest of us are going to feel it. And of course, because we are in a water sign. So as that Uranus energy shows up retrograde today, it is going to be squaring that moon energy from the sign of Pisces, of course, where it's setting up for its eclipse. So again, information is challenging us, changing our way of thinking, surprises, wanting to trust our intuition, and yet being challenged by the information that is being pushed at us, especially information about the past. So again, it's a brief conversation, it's a brief challenge, but when planets go retrograde, even the outer planets, especially in a sign that rules information, Saturday might feel a lot like a Mercury retrograde because, of course, Mercury rules the sign of Gemini. Uranus brings shocking surprises, and this can just be something very internal for you, that you have a big aha moment, and as a result of that, you need to make a serious change. Fascinating energy. Fascinating. I'm getting my popcorn out because this is going to be a show all week long. I'm sure of it. Okay, so let's move us to Sunday. And I'm just going to take a second here to slightly adjust this so that we can see the exactness of this full moon total lunar eclipse. And anytime we have eclipses, it's the best time to work on releasing something, especially with a lunar eclipse, something emotional, some kind of an emotional blockage that has been holding you back and blocking you from achieving your dreams, because Pisces is the energy of dreams. And the North Node is here next to the moon, very, very close. That's why this is a total lunar eclipse. And it is helping us realize what is keeping us from achieving our dreams. And it is going to help us, because it's fated, remove the blocks. Now, I always feel that eclipse energy is somewhat indirect. It could be an impact on somebody else's life that's more direct. And because of that impact, it opens a door and an opportunity for you. So there's, of course, a mix of how this experience can show up for you. But you have to be willing to have closure too. So whatever house this is happening in for you, the moon when it's full is closure. But an eclipse is giving you a total reset. So it's a bit like having a full moon and a new moon on the same day. Everything is coming full circle for you. So eclipses are fated for a reason. They're historically monumental events happen associated with the eclipses because it's such a unique energy. You imagine that, right? One moment it's a full moon and the next it's new because we can't see it. It's a blank slate. So it's going to be pretty incredible, this event, because of the nature of the energy of Pisces. What are our dreams? What are our hopes? What's our spiritual connection to the future? Because that's what the North Node shows us. So if we close this door, the sun is shining a light on what it is that we have to release, that we have to let go of, that we have to learn finally. The details are really clear once the sun is shining a light on them. We can't ignore the information that is coming to the surface at this time. Could be information involving your health, could be information involving all the collective's health, right? It's information about vaccines. For instance, we just saw that there's a new COVID vaccines that have gotten approved. What else do we need to know about them? That information can come up for us at this time. And of course, Mercury, the ruler, is right in the mix here at the time of the eclipse as well. So information and details and facts are being brought to the surface so that we can understand them, that we can use the information and the lessons, because Mercury's also teaching from the past, to guide us through to the future. And of course, as I mentioned, Saturn's popped into the sign of Pisces as well. And that is what keeps this event from getting out of control. So my guess is it's feeling very emotional all week long. And Saturn coming back here at the same time as the eclipse says, I'm here to contain this event, to give you the structure that you need, to give you the guidance to manage through whatever crazy stuff is coming up for you. Now, the ruler of this can be twofold because, of course, Neptune is considered the ruler of Pisces today. And as we've been talking at the time, Neptune is working beneath the surface, behind the scenes for you, helping you in the sign of Aries realize your dreams, realize what's out there for you in the future with the help of Pluto and Aquarius, bringing you together with the people that will help you achieve your dream, and Uranus in Gemini, teaching you, guiding you, showing you, teaching you what to say, how to say it, how to open your mind, right? All of that is working together behind the scenes. And then, as I mentioned, Jupiter's moved forward slightly, but it's still connected. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. This is destiny that for some of you is huge and is life-changing and unexpected. I can't wait to see how this shows up for all of you. The last piece here is this connection to Venus. And Venus is right here at this 15-degree point where Mercury began its retrograde. So something about what you were learning, what was coming to the surface, what we were exploring during that entire Mercury retrograde in some weird, unusual way has everything to do with this eclipse moment, with this door that's opening for you to the future. And of course, Venus is love and beauty and money and passion and leadership when it's in the sign of Leo. It's joy and happiness. So it's almost like finding your dream through the hidden door of the garden. You didn't even know it was there, or this opportunity was there for you, and suddenly it's there, and it's magical. So what an incredible full moon lunar eclipse, which normally we're like, these are just big endings. That's it, finale, it's over. But this one's different. It is literally opening a door to the future for you in whatever house you have this in. And you have to take a giant leap of faith, just like when we were talking about that new moon in Virgo, in order to step through the door and on to this new pathway. So trust anything and everything weird and unusual that happens this week. If you get strange requests, if you get weird introductions to people, whatever it is this week, say yes and be willing to explore it, because you have no idea what's about to happen for you. I believe that 100%. I'm as curious as the rest of you on how this is going to unfold. It's pretty interesting energy too for any of us born in the mid 60s. My relatives, of course, not me. Any of us born in that time are all seeing our Pluto and Uranus energy being activated. So they were conjunct in the summer of the mid 60s, and Pluto's power, Uranus is innovation and freedom, and this controlling Virgo energy, right? There is something that can create some kind of a powerful breakthrough, some big need for freedom. There's something tied to that energy in the 60s, which of course was the Vietnam War. It was all about peace and love. So something about that era is being brought up. Some lessons we should have learned in the past from the 60s are being applied now. So it's just, again, historically fascinating energies that are being activated right now. And of course, we're under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of crazy change going on. We can't even keep up with it. There's some things that are horrifying going on, but things are about to shift and change, is my guess. All right, so let us break it down by sign to give you guys a little bit of an idea. Of course, it's complex in some ways. It's weird. It's unusual. But I'll give you some idea on how it could show up for you. But again, I'm going to reiterate, if you want to know more and look at your personal natal planets that are being impacted by this so that you can really connect to the energy and understand it better and prepare, right? Book a session with me. It's going to be worth the time spent digging into this, unwinding the past so that you can see the future and what's available for you. So, when we're talking about Pisces energy, this is endings. This is the last sign in the zodiac. This is where we have completion of a cycle so that a new one can begin. So there will be endings. There will be things that do die so that something new can be born in its place. And so for you, Aries, this is happening in your 12th house, which is endings. This is the end of your journey and your subconscious mind. That's where all of this big work is going on. So it can be a very active time for you, Aries, as far as your dreams go. So pay close attention to them. Take notes, journal, even if you don't normally do that. You know, you are one who wants to just take control and be in charge. But you're being asked to let that go, to have faith, to trust where you're being guided. And you're also, with the 12th house, something that's been hidden is exposed so that you can make the right decision and the right choice for yourself. 12th house for some people can be something to do with a large institution. Maybe there's some of you who are working in a hospital or for a hospital, and something about that work is going to change in some way for you. A new opportunity comes by letting go of a path that you thought was meant for you, but suddenly it's not. So don't fret, don't worry. Listen, pay attention to your subconscious thoughts. And if there's anything that's been holding you back, as far as the way that you've been thinking or talking to yourself, now's the time to remove, refresh, and release that. All right, let us move on to Taurus. So Taurus, this happens for you in your 11th house. So it is your friends and your networking groups where big changes are about to happen for you. And so that does mean there can be a chapter that's closing, a project that's ending, and maybe it's a project that's been draining the life out of you. And when you let this go, when you complete this, when you decide that this friendship isn't for you anymore, then a better one, a better opportunity that will bring major growth into your circle can present itself to you. Now, Jupiter is, like I said, a benefic planet and a wise teacher. 11th house also has a lot to do with that Jupiter type of energy. So it could bring a benefactor, a teacher, a mentor into your life, and they're the ones that actually open the door for you. So you just need to be comfortable ending situations that don't serve you anymore just because you're not aligned with certain people, and don't feel guilty about it. You have to do what's best for you at this time. And it could just be a friendship from your past that comes back up again unexpectedly, that opens this new door for you. So keep me posted on that, Taurus. Then we have Geminis. Gemini, this is a huge opportunity for you that involves your career, your status, your reputation. So things have been happening behind the scenes to get you ready for this next level move as far as your career goes. So also the sun is shining a light on home and family, right? That's where the tension comes with these changes that need to happen in order for you to grow into the career that has been waiting for you to be ready and to show up. So huge changes could happen suddenly, shockingly, that you weren't expecting, but don't worry about it. Don't get stressed about it. Changes may be happening around you. Leadership may be making announcements unexpectedly, and somebody may be leaving unexpectedly that then opens up a new opportunity for you, and you should step through that door. You won't regret where you're headed next. And then we have Cancers. Cancers, this for you happens in your 9th house. So the 9th house of growth and expansion, gaining knowledge, having a real spiritual connection to the future is what is available for you. So you cannot play small during this kind of an eclipse, because the 9th house is big. It's ruled by Jupiter, and Cancers want to stay home and stay hidden, and you cannot do that. Fortunately, this is a fellow water sign where this eclipse happens for you. So you just need to tune in and trust your intuition. You might suddenly be getting all week long incredible downloads that just say, you need to be here, you need to do this, you need to trust those feelings and your guides and your angels as they prepare you for the big changes that are fated for you in this week ahead. And you can't play small anymore. You can't stay comfortable at home or with the people that you always know, and they don't challenge you anymore. You have to go bigger. You have to get connected with people who will challenge you and get you outside your comfort zone so that you experience the growth that you are meant to at this time. And if you're feeling stuck, well, the good news is about this eclipse, you're not going to be stuck anymore, but be ready because you're going to blow up in unexpected ways that are going to, again, push you outside of your comfort zone and get you the attention that you deserve for all the hard work that you've been doing. And then we have Leo. Leo, this happens for you in your 8th house. So this is an important transformation, a rebirth of some kind. And it's also an opportunity for money that you deserve to come your way, because the 8th house does rule money that comes to us from other people and other sources. So it could be a loan, it could be an inheritance, it could be the lottery, right? There's money that comes to you that, because of that, opens up new doors for you. And literally could be money that you need for a new home, because Jupiter's expanding that Cancerian energy for you that's bigger. Whatever it is, I'm guessing whatever money does come in for you, it happens in an unusual, unexpected way. Now, for some, if it's not about money, it could be about a lover, right? Leo, the lover, is someone that would show up that maybe you've recently started talking to because of the fact that Mercury's been recently through the sign of Leo, and the connection was unexpected. But the connection is important, and it's about to change everything. And your life is not going to look like it was because of the result of this. It's a complete rebirth, a transformation, right? Something has to die in order for you to pursue what you love and what you are passionate about. And fate is showing up to guide the person or the situation your way, so that everything can change. Ooh, so excited. Then we move on to Virgos and Virgos. This is happening for you in your 7th house. So 7th house, of course, is marriage, it's business partnerships, it's serious relationships, it's contracts. And with this full moon, something is ending. Now, is it your goal to get married? Well, then that could be achieved now. And the energy would be working to remove any blocks to you making a serious commitment. And the blocks might be other people need to get out of your way in order for you to have this relationship that you're meant to have. All of those things, of course, are possible. And you're going to feel the pressure because, of course, the sun, the South Node, Mercury are in your sign. So, of course, you middle degree Virgos are feeling this intensely. You're under a microscope. You're in the spotlight. The information, the downloads, the work, the organization. I mean, you are just feeling all of it. But it's all the hard work you've been doing up to this point that is leading you to a relationship that is really going to help you grow and maybe share the burden and share the load with you a little bit so that you're not just continuing to do everything on your own. So that Venus energy in your 12th house can be exposing a secret admirer. Completely unexpected, very unusual. That is who you start this relationship with. Business or personal, right? Depends on what it is that you're focusing on. So expect the unexpected and keep me posted. All right, then we move on into the sign of Libra. Libra, this is in your 6th house. So this is something coming to completion and fullness that involves your work, your day-to-day life. It can be your health. It can be your pets. It is something that is keeping you from feeling balanced, right? Which of course you need. You want everything to be fair, everyone to be happy. And at the time of this eclipse, whatever is blocking you from that balance, from that happiness, is being removed. That's going to be the point of this energy for you. So when you have the sun and Mercury and the South Node in your 12th house, that can stir up a lot as far as your subconscious mind goes. Again, you're going to be with somebody who wants to pay attention to their dreams. But whatever you're learning through that work is what is going to allow you to open this new door and this new chapter towards your future. What do you want to feel and experience as a part of your day-to-day life going forward? That is what the energy with the North Node and the Moon in the sign of Pisces is inviting you to do. Life may suddenly just feel more magical and more creative as a result of closing the chapter on the past that is keeping you stuck, and then inviting this opportunity to open yourself to feeling and not just keeping everybody else happy, but feeling what it is that's right for you. Big changes, Libra. As we move here to the sign of Scorpio, this is, again, another water sign. So this is energy that is supportive for you. These endings are fated and helpful because this is a trine for you, especially middle degree Scorpio planets, that invites you to open your heart, right? This is something, fifth house can be, probably many of you have just sent children off to college, and that is going to open up your day-to-day life and invite you to start pursuing what you're passionate about. And it can be love, it can be hobbies. It's definitely anything that is creative and gets your heart pumping. And so we'd think, I let a child go, somebody that I love, and something else to love comes in and takes its place. Of course, your child's not gone, they're just at college, but that hole isn't going to be there for long. It is going to be filled up very quickly by the events surrounding this full moon lunar eclipse in your fifth house. Now, for some of you, you may be working on having children and have not been successful doing that. Then again, eclipses in my mind help remove blocks to whatever it is that is keeping you from getting what you love. So very emotional full moon lunar eclipse about to happen for you, Scorpio. Make sure you open your heart and let fate in to do the work they need to do. Then we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is happening for you here in your fourth house of home and family. So if you've been stuck, maybe you've been feeling like you are trapped in a small home, your family's expanding, and you need a new one, there is some magic going on behind the scenes that would make a move possible. For some of you, maybe it makes it possible for you to just expand, remodel the home that you currently live in. That's definitely a possibility for you as well. For some of you, your dream of becoming a mother is coming to reality for you at this time. But to do that, you may have to make some changes where your career is involved because of the fact that that South Node is in your 10th house. So don't worry about being able to balance work and family in order to have this new home, this new child. It's all lining up at the right time when it's supposed to happen. So just trust and have faith, which you're really good at, in the process, and watch how this new opportunity through your child that you're going to have in the next year unfolds for you. All right, then we have Capricorn. Capricorn, this is in your third house, and the third house is endings that involve your siblings, your cousins, your community, goals that you have for yourself and your community. Those can be realized at this time. So when we think about the Pisces energy, it's very emotional, and you as a Capricorn are very grounded, right? Ruled by Saturn. But that Saturn energy, remember, is in the sign of Pisces, and this creates a sextile to you. So there is this gentle opportunity for you to make peace, maybe with a family member, through something being removed that's created a block in your relationship. And if not family, it's in the community that you're a part of. It also can remove blocks to the truth, because third house is communication and learning. So there is a big awakening happening for you Capricorns. And as a result, there is something new that will begin that has everything to do with the communities that you're a part of and that you support. Could be the communities that you work in, of course, because of that Capricorn energy. That challenge comes from, the ninth house of big institutions. If you think about colleges, there's something that you think because also the ninth house is knowledge, that when you really get into the details of actually the truth, that's what creates this big awakening and aha moment that will close this chapter and make you feel comfortable leaving this role that you have in your community to start something new. So this could be a very interesting transition for you Capricorns about where you fit in and where you belong. Speaking of where we fit in and where we belong, we have this Aquarius energy, and Aquarius for you, this is all about the second house of the money that you make. So a big chapter is about to close. It could be a job. It could be the company you work for. It could be a big project that you're a part of, but something is ending in a maybe shocking, unexpected way that will allow you to pursue something that you have more of an emotional connection to. It's not going to be about just pursuing the money anymore. There's something that is calling to you that is more Piscean in nature. Now, Pisces can have to do with secrets. We think about Neptune and being things that are hidden. So maybe you work in intelligence, right? And you do a lot of research, maybe AI, maybe something like that is really calling to you, and you're able to tap in and get a lot more creative with your gifts. Instead of, when you think about Aquarius, you think about nutty professor energy, right? There isn't that warm, fuzzy feel to the professor, right? They're just throwing numbers out at you. But there's a chance to combine the information, the knowledge you have, like AI, with feelings, or AI with creating music and creating art, and you have some kind of gift that you didn't realize that would be awakened for you. It takes a bit of a leap of faith to do anything new when it comes to the money that we make, because the sun highlights from the 8th house the debts that you have, and it will make you a little afraid because it's going to give you every line item, helping you realize whether or not you can afford to make this big change. You can, especially if it's something that comes to you out of the blue and unexpectedly, something you weren't considering at all. That's what you need to say yes to, and then you're going to be shocked. Yes, even you, who loves to break free and start over, at how excited you are about this new opportunity, even though you have to explore your feelings. All right. And last and never least, of course, we have Pisces. So this is your moment. This is a chance for you to close a chapter and begin again. Now, this could be something that you started in 2006 that is now ready to be completed and finished. This is about you, yourself. Now, it could be about your health, right? Because that sun is shining a light across the sky in the sign of Virgo. It could be about the health of your marriage, your partnership, your business partnerships. And there's something that you need to understand about your partner in order for you to be able to pursue your dreams and what you want. Then if you're in an unhealthy relationship, for instance, where there are no healthy boundaries, well, those have to end, again, whether it's business or personal, in order for you to do what you are meant to do. And we're talking fate. So for you Pisces in the middle degrees of the sign of Pisces, there's a calling, something's been calling to you and causing this awakening moment for you. And it's fated, so you got to trust your intuition. You have to, more than anything, trust yourself. This is a big time for you to let go of any of that overthinking, the perfectionist tendencies. Maybe you have a partner who nitpicks at you all the time and just highlights all your imperfections. Well, that person needs to go jump in a lake because that's not going to be accepted anymore. So watch the universe, for those of you stuck in those unhealthy, toxic relationships, are suddenly going to create opportunities for them no longer to be a part of your relationship. And instead of fretting or worrying about it, trust anything that's taken away from you during an eclipse is meant to be. So just let it go. Let it go. And watch how fast something comes in to replace it that makes you feel whole again. All right. So again, just a few examples. You should be watching for your sun, your moon, especially your rising sign, because it's from the lens of the rising sign that we will most likely see the change happen in our lives. Now, I follow the Placidus system. Some people will follow whole house. So whatever it is that calls to you, do that and listen to that. But do explore each of those signs because together they're putting a big picture together for you that makes sense always in hindsight. I always say astrology makes a lot of sense in hindsight. Some of us, because we are astrologers or we follow it closely, can see the writing on the wall and what's coming, but still the universe has its own plan, and we are never 100% at predicting anything. But right now, we just need to have a lot of faith, North Node and Pisces, that things are unfolding as they should. Trust the process. Let go anything that is suddenly jerked away from us, no matter how much it hurts our heart. We don't have control right now. That's the South Node and Virgo message. You don't have control. So let it go and then have faith that the new door will shortly follow, that will open, that invites you to experience something brand new as a result of your willingness to not fight fate and to go along with it instead. So there we go. That is the whole week ahead. That's the breakdown by all the signs. I welcome you guys booking sessions with me so that we can work together through whatever this transition will be, so we can review history, look back on the past, figure out the lessons. Maybe we don't want to be repeating the lessons of the past. There's a lot going on this week that deserves a deep dive into your chart. So I hope some of you will come work with me, and I look forward to it. So with that full moon lunar eclipse wrapping up this week, when we come back together next week, of course, we'll mostly be experiencing what's changing, and we'll be dealing with what those changes are. So next week, we will see, as we move through the week, this Mercury cazimi that is happening in the sign, of course, of Virgo, as Mercury, the South Node, and the Sun come together. So look for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week to be a little mind-blowing. And then there is something about what we learn now here in September. When Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Scorpio in November, it's going to be another Mercury Cazimi moment at the time of a new moon. So there is some story unfolding, which is Mercury, that there's a big chapter of it being revealed here next Saturday that we're going to want to make note of, because I guarantee you something about it is going to come up when Mercury retrograde is Cazimi at the new moon in Scorpio. It's mind-blowing. This is how that feels. That event feels very mind-blowing. It's secrets being exposed, right? We're talking Scorpio, death, rebirth, transformation. I don't know how exactly this upcoming Mercury Cazimi will feed into it, but we'll start to get a feel for it as we go through next week. And of course, it's fated. The past are lessons from the past that are coming up in a big way. Big way. So, again, thank you for commenting, liking, sharing my work, subscribing, showing up for my daily tarot lessons, always over here, and giving me feedback there too. It's just another quick way to tune in to the daily energy. So hopefully you guys are tuning in and getting something beneficial out of that. Also, you can now go out and look at the October monthly horoscope that is posted along with the new moon and full moon articles for there as well. So get ready. This energy is not slowing down through the end of the year. So best be prepared and work with it. Keep letting go, right? It's a 9-year. Keep releasing, keep letting it go. Looking to the future. That's what the 1 year is going to invite for us. So let's get ready for it together. And we will come back together next week. Take care, everybody.